Hmm. So let's all come to our seats, a comfortable seat. Yoga should be hopefully easeful in our effort to move through and perhaps gain from the practice, whatever it is that there is for us in each of our practices. Each time we come to our mat, what is there to learn? Is something new each time, perhaps. Perhaps it stays the same, but I would guess that for each of us, there are new things to be gleaned from our practices as we continue with them. So it's just really wonderful to show up, even if that means sitting or laying down, taking a break, finding an easier pose, modifying in any way. Showing up on the mat is part of the practice, an essential part of the practice. So thank you so much for showing up. And since we are here on our mats and seated, please take a moment and close your eyes or lower your eyelids. And together, let's come inside each of our own individual space of being. Just finding that inner world within that is part of who we are, a more subtle aspect of our being that we may not always pay much attention to, but it is part of us, this inner space. And bring awareness also to the inner body, the quiet speaking of the inner body. And settling into these more subtle spaces within ourselves. Begin to feel your breath, your natural breath pattern as it exists right now. And then begin to slow it down. So the inhalation is around 5 counts. And the exhalation is anywhere from 6 to 8 counts. Or something similar. Whatever feels appropriate for you this morning. And then begin to feel the weightedness of your hips, your legs, your sits bones. Notice the sensation and the awareness of stability as you sit. And from this seated, stable space, begin to lengthen your spine. Draw your tailbone down towards the earth and lift up all the way from your tailbone through the crown of your head. And as you lengthen, draw your belly in just enough to support your spine, support you in this long, tall space, letting your shoulders rest away from your ears. Bring awareness to your shoulder blades and maybe hug them in towards your back ribs. Lifting your heart. Feel this sensation of yoga as you practice in this moment. Relaxing your jaw, perhaps bringing a little half smile to your face and encouraging the production of serotonin, dopamine. That's intimately related to that smile. And practicing some metta. So let's practice internally this morning. Practicing for yourself, for another, maybe someone you really love, really care about, and perhaps even someone you don't care so much for. See if that resonates, and if so, let's spend just a couple minutes practicing loving kindness in whatever way feels most resonant for you. And so now let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra. Let's chant one Om. Take a couple of cleansing breaths first. Deep breath in and fully expel that breath. Another deep breath in and let it go completely. And now inhale and let's begin. Om. And release your hands, let them come to your lap or to your legs. And feel the warmth. Just feel the warmth of your own flesh as you lift your eyelids and the clarity of vision returns. Let's bring the chin down towards the sternum gently, just lowering down. And then turn the head to the right so the ear comes towards the shoulder. And then slowly rock around. The head draws the left ear comes towards the left shoulder. And again, down and around, keeping your both shoulders, as stable as you're able. Down and around. Feeling the muscles all around the neck and shoulders as they lengthen. Warm. Just a couple more, one more to each side. Keep your jaws soft, your eyes, your face soft and relaxed. And then bring your chin back down towards your chest and lift your head. Bring awareness to your torso and your spine. Lengthen and draw the belly in. And then turn to look over your right shoulder best you can, keeping your shoulders stable and still. And then slowly turn your head to the left. Again, notice and sense and feel your shoulders, keeping them still and stable best you can. And one more time, both ways. Slow movements, not fast. Gentle and slow. Feeling the sensations as you go. With soft jaws and soft eyes. And then come back to center once again. Let's take the arms out to either side and start by drawing the shoulder blades together towards one another, like you're squeezing a pen or a paintbrush in between the two shoulder blades. And then bring the arms behind you, interweave the fingers, lift the heart, and press your backs of your hands down towards the earth. Keep drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. And then you can lower your chin again towards your chest and draw your head towards one side slightly. Feel that stretch through the front of the neck and maybe into the pectorals. Bring your head back to center. And then take it slightly to the other side. And just notice again if there's a difference. Just noticing, not judging. And let's take it again. Pause for a moment and interweave your fingers the other way. And then pressing the hands down again, take your head in the same way, gently towards the right. Take a couple of breaths here. And then roll and over to the other side. Just awareness of what might seem same or different in both sides. And then bring the head back to center and up. Take the arms out to either side. Notice how it feels now, if there's more space through the front body. And then turn the palms, up to the sky. Take a breath in and lengthen the fingertips. Slowly reach up. You can look towards that place where the ceiling and the wall meet. Fingertips touch overhead. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Feel the lift through the side bodies. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down as you lift. And then exhale, press the hands down, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another once again. Inhale, press the hands up. Press the arms up, reach long through the side bodies and fingertips meet overhead. And exhale, press down. Draw the shoulder blades in towards one another. Let's take a twist. Take a deep breath, lengthen just a bit more, and as you exhale, twist to the right. If it feels good in your body, you can turn to look over the back shoulder as you draw that right shoulder blade around and onto the back ribs. Keep your jaw as soft best you can. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, draw the belly in, especially the left lower belly. Take a couple more breath cycles here. Breathe into the ribs. Take a breath in again and turn slowly, if it feels good, in your body and look over your left shoulder. Gently. No strain. Just softly and gently. And on your next breath in, bring your head back to center. Inhale again, lengthen, draw the belly in, and return your whole torso back to the front, the center, neutral. Let's take another breath in, grow the spine long, and as you exhale, twist to the left. Wrapping the left shoulder blade onto your back body, fingertips behind you like a kickstand, and then turn to look over that back shoulder. Stay as broad as you're able through the collarbones. And as you breathe, lengthen the spine with the inhalation and deepen into the twist by drawing the belly in, especially on the right lower belly this time. Stay with your breath and soften your shoulders, your jaw as best you can. And on your next inhalation, gently and slowly turn your head to look over the other shoulder. Slowly and gently, because our neck is really quite a delicate part of the spine. Smaller vertebrae there. You want to take good care. Feeling the breath in the ribs and the side bodies. On your next inhalation, bring your head back to center. And then take a breath in, grow the spine long, and come back to facing forward. Just feel into your body right now. Feel if there's a difference or not. Just the expansion, the spaciousness within, and maybe also the more dense places within. Just let that show up for you in this moment. And we're going to come onto our backs, bringing a block. Actually, well, bring a block. You may or may not want it. We'll see. So coming onto your back, off of your blanket, off of your blanket, we'll practice pelvic clock to begin. And so arriving, bring your heels about 1.5 inches, 2 inches away from your sits bones. Feet planted on the mat, second toes facing forward. Draw your shoulder blades under your back. Lengthen the skin along the back of your neck. And lift your hips for a moment to lengthen the tailbone away from the mid-back. And once you feel your back body resting on the mat, locating that sensation, we'll imagine a clock face on the back of the pelvis, and 6 o'clock is at the tailbone, 12 o'clock is at the upper part of the pelvis, and 3 is on the right, and 9 is on the left. So we'll take the tailbone towards 6 o'clock, towards the earth, and the chin draws down towards the chest, towards the sternum. And then lifting the tailbone and pressing the lower back into the mat, the chin lifts towards the sky. And rocking to and fro, nice and slow, from 6 to 12, let the chin and the neck and the whole spine participate as you move from 6 to 12. Initiating the movements in the pelvis. And the belly draws in as the lower back presses into the mat at 12 o'clock. Chin lifts. And the belly lifts up, the back arches up at 6. Taking it nice and slow to warm the back. Flexion and extension. And 3 more of these. And then please pause. And we'll take it from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 5 on each side. And then again, initiate the movement in the pelvis. So we're not able to completely isolate, the knees will move. Lift the opposite hip up off the mat. And let your breath sync up with the movements. And after you've completed 5 on each side, come to stillness for a moment, take a breath cycle, and then we'll take the clock all the way around, and it really doesn't matter which way you go first. Let's do 5 on each side, hitting each number, so all the numbers of the clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Doing your best to keep the movements right in the pelvis. The shoulders might like to come along for the ride. See if you can relax them. Allowing the breath to flow with ease through the movements. And after you've completed 5 on one side, go the other way. Do your best to relax your jaw, your face, your neck, your shoulders, and after 5, again, pause. Notice the skin along the back of your neck. If your chin, has lifted up towards the sky, lengthen the back of your neck. And then take a breath in and draw both knees in towards your chest. Flex your feet and let your hands just rest on your knees or your shins. Let the thighs draw down towards your chest with ease, no pulling, and find their way on their own. And again, if you notice your chin lifting, like mine just did, lengthen the back of your neck and draw your chin down. And on your next breath in, take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower your left foot to the mat. If you've got issues in your legs, you can let your foot just rest right here or in your groins. Or if it feels good, lengthen the leg all the way along the mat, sending the toes up towards the sky. Hugging in on your right knee, 45%. Again, relax the shoulders. Press out through the soles of both feet, especially the big toe pads, drawing those baby toes towards their shoulders. Notice your shoulders and relax them best you can. Relax your jaws. Keep pressing out through the sole of the extended leg's foot. And as you breathe here, notice any shifts or changes that may occur. Option here to lift your extended leg an inch or two up off the mat and externally rotate as an option from the head of the thigh bone, if that feels good in your body. Taking a couple breaths there. And then bring that leg, the whole leg and the foot back to neutral. And then internally rotate at the head of the thigh bone, best you can, relaxing your face, your neck, and your shoulders. And then bring the whole leg and the foot back to neutral. And lower the leg to the mat. Again, simply notice any shifts or changes that may or may not take place. No judgments, just noticing. And then from here, an option would be to find your foot with your right hand and come into half happy baby. Listen to your body. You can also choose to bring your left foot to the mat, bending that leg or bending at the knee, if that's preferable in your practice today. And choose whichever way feels best. Notice if your shoulders want to help and let them relax. And then you can bring that knee, the right knee, back in, hug in, take a breath. And as you exhale, lower your right foot to the mat and let it lengthen out next to the other one. Just take a few breaths here. Feel what is the truth in this moment, what's going on in your body. Just feel into that. There's nothing expected. There's nothing right or wrong. Just simply noticing whatever may feel different or the same. And then please once again bring both feet back to the mat. Take a breath in and draw your left knee in. Flex the foot. Hug it in about 45%. Keep lengthening the back of your neck. If you're like me, your chin keeps popping up. Grow the back of the neck long. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lengthen your right leg, pressing out through the sole of the foot. So we're working with the psoas, which attaches to the head of the femur bone at the top and goes all the way up through the pelvis and to the bottom ribs along the spine. And this big muscle along the inner body is a hip flexor, and it affects the low back. And it responds to stress by tightening. It has lots of functions in the body. But the fact that it responds to stress and tightens can have a lot of subtle and not so subtle effects on the lower back and other aspects, even into the thighs. Take a breath in and optionally lift your extended leg up off the mat if that feels good in your body. And then again, if it feels appropriate, externally rotate. And bring it back to neutral, toes to the sky. Keep the leg only a couple inches off the mat and then internally rotate. Again, from the head of the thigh bone. Couple of breaths there, and then bring the leg back to neutral. Inhale and exhale, lower the foot to the mat. And again, just notice any differences. Notice if your bent leg comes closer to your chest or not. If there's a spaciousness, an opening or not. And we'll take half happy baby once again. If that feels good in your body, you can take your hand to your foot and draw the knee in towards your armpit, down to the earth. Listen to your body. Couple more breaths here. And then bring the foot back where it began. Hug your knee, just a couple more breaths. Notice the back of your neck. Draw your chin down again. Inhale. And exhale, lower your foot to the mat. And then glide it out, lengthening just along the other leg. Release all the muscle energy and simply feel, once again, how it feels in your body. Two more breaths here, and then we'll begin a little more movement. And bring your feet to the mat. We'll practice bridge pose. So if bridge pose doesn't feel like it's appropriate for you, you might want to place a block under your hips and come to supported bridge if that feels good in your body this morning. If it feels good to be a little more active, let's take bridge pose without the block. So let's start by bringing the elbows into the side waists with the fingertips towards the sky. And walk your heels just, 1.5, 2 inches away from your sits bones. You can lower your fingertips and make sure your heels brush your fingertips, and then lift them back up towards the sky. Your second toe facing towards the foot of the mat. Find all four corners of both feet and press into those. Continue pressing into those and the backs of your arms as you lift your hips towards the sky. Press in to your soles of your feet, lifting your chest, your heart, and you can lower your hands, walk your shoulder blades a little more underneath, and interweave your fingers. Press the hips up and press out through the knees. And do your best to keep your knees from splaying out. Take a couple breaths here. And as you exhale, release your hands and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Now, let's take bridge pose with the block between your thighs. Hugging the block. Again, with feet hip width distance apart, take a breath in and lift up, straight up towards the sky. Draw the belly in. Your choice. You can wrap the fingers around one another, pressing the arms and the hands into the mat. Press into all four corners of both feet and lift the hips. Feel those spinal muscles ignite. And as you exhale, release. The hips come down one vertebrae at a time. And again, lengthen the neck. Feel your lower back, your hips, your upper back and shoulders release into the mat. And we'll take it one more time. Squeeze the block. Again, your choice. You can place your palms on the mat, press into the arms and the palms. You can come into robot arms, fingertips towards the sky, and you can wrap, interweaving the fingers behind your back. Your choice. Draw the shoulder blades under you. Make sure that the weight is only on the back of your head, your shoulders, and your feet as you lift the hips. Squeeze the block. Lift the hips and press into the feet. Relax your face. Take a breath in and release, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Slowly lengthening through the tailbone as you come down. You can take the block away now and keep your tailbone heavy and weighted towards the mat. And then draw your knees, one knee at a time, in towards your chest. And take a few breaths here. Keep your chin drawing down the back of your neck, nice and long. Keep your feet active. And then please lower your feet to the mat. Roll to one side and we'll come to child's pose. And as always, listen to your body. You might want to roll a blanket in between your thighs and your calves. Start with your knees, hip width distance apart. Draw the belly in, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, take it nice and slow. Walk your hands overhead on the mat and lower down slowly. Draw the belly in, draw the inner groins in. Use a block under your forehead if that's helpful, or a blanket. Press the palms and the fingertips into the mat. Draw the shoulder blades towards the hips. Breathe into the back body. Breathe into the space of the sacrum. And let that breath go. Then a breath into the mid-back, the space of the kidneys. And let that breath go. Then a breath into the space right behind the heart where your thymus gland lives. Breathe into those ribs and then let that go. Take a full 3-part breath all the way from the sacrum through the upper back. And let the breath go. And then please bring your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Come back up with a nice long spine. Now, bring your blanket. We'll take a seat on the blanket for Navasana, boat pose. So we're focusing on the lower back. And we want a strong core to support the lower back. So we're going to engage the core here. Feet on the mat, hip width distance apart. Sit up tall. Relax the shoulders, grow the spine long. Reach out through the crown of your head. Make sure you're sitting on your sits bones, the anterior portion of your sits bones, best you can. And we're going to begin with a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, extend long over your thighs, over the earth. And if it feels good in your body, you can wrap your arms around your thighs. Staying long, and feel the space across the lower pelvis, across the space of the sacrum. Take a couple of breaths right here. Draw the belly in towards the back body. And on your next breath in, lengthen up slowly. Sit up tall once again. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another on the back. And as you exhale, draw that navel center back towards the spine. Lengthening again over the earth. Couple breaths here, breathing into the back of the pelvis where the sacrum lives. And then inhale, come back up. We'll take it one more time. Inhale, grow the spine long, lift the heart, and as you exhale, draw the belly in. Hug it in towards the back body as you extend long over the earth, over your legs. And then inhale, come back up. Excuse me. So now we'll come into Navasana. Actually, that was more of a prep. And you can bring your toes or your heels or your flat feet, or excuse me, not your flat feet, but the soles of your feet to the mat, whatever feels best for you as you practice. And you can begin by simply lifting your heart, drawing the belly in, and extending long through the crown of your head as you lean back, hugging your thighs with your hands. Option to stay right here. Keep lifting the heart, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. Draw the belly in. Option to take the arms out in front, turn the palms towards the sky. Draw wide through the collarbones. Take a couple of breaths here. And then return. Lower your feet to the mat for a moment. Pardon me. Sit up nice and tall. Grow the spine long, and let's take it again. Take your hands behind your thighs. Lean back. Lift your heart. Hug those shoulder blades towards one another. Draw the belly in, and option to take the arms out, and maybe option to lift the feet up off the mat. Keep hugging the belly towards the spine. Just take a couple more breaths here. And then lower your feet or take your hands behind your thighs. Inhale, grow the spine long, and then lift back up. Draw the belly in. Sit up nice and tall. And then let's lengthen the the left leg. Toes to the sky. And, sorry, let's keep the right leg lifted. Bring your heel towards your sits bone. Hug that knee. Sit up tall and draw the shoulders towards the back body, lifting the heart. So you can stay right here or take a twist with me. Take a breath in if you'd like to take the twist and lengthen your left arm. And as you exhale, draw the shoulder blade in, the head of the arm bone into the shoulder. Inhale, grow the spine long. Exhale, twist, taking your right hand behind you like a kickstand. Breathe and extend long through the crown of your head. Draw the belly in. Wrap that right shoulder blade onto your back. Lengthen through the back of the neck, the crown of the head. Press out through the sole of your extended leg foot, toes to the sky. Soften your jaw, soften your face. Take a breath in and grow the spine long once again. Draw the belly in and return to center. Good. And then you can open your right leg out to the side and take your hands to your extended leg. And again, make sure you're sitting on the anterior portion of your sits bones. Take your left hand back behind you, your left arm. Inhale it up and around. You know what? Let's do the other arm. Take your right arm out behind you. Thank you so much for your patience, and lift it up and around. There you go. Take your left hand behind you. You can press the left fingertips into the mat and grow the spine long. Lengthen over your extended leg. And as you breathe, drawing the groins back and in, you might find yourself lengthening a little bit more and feel into the space around the sacrum. Draw the belly in, and on another inhalation, lift back up with a long spine. Do your best to keep your spine long rather than hunching over your leg. Better to lengthen over the leg, taking care of your back. Want to take care of the back. And then take your hand to your knee and bring it back up. Lengthen that leg out in front. And again, find both sits bones and draw your left foot in. So the heel comes towards the sits bones. Sit up nice and tall and press out through your extended leg, foot, toes, and knee to the sky. So for the twist, take your right arm out in front, reach through the fingertips, and as you exhale, draw the head of the arm bone into the socket. On your next breath in, grow long and draw the belly in. And as you exhale, take the twist. Left fingertips come behind you like a kickstand. You can gaze right out towards the side of your mat. Breathe and grow the spine long. Notice your shoulders. Let them relax away from your ears. Soften your jaw. Draw the belly in. Lift your heart. Hug that left shoulder blade towards the back ribs. Breathe into the back body here. See how that feels. And on your next inhalation, as you lengthen through the crown of your head, exhale and return to center. Help your left knee out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your legs. Notice your toes, your knee. Keep them facing towards the sky, and then take your left hand, inhale it up and over, and bring your right fingertips to the earth behind you. Draw your belly in and grow your spine long. Stay here or extend, hinging at the hip. So the whole action occurs right in the hips. The spine stays nice and long, just exactly as it was while seated. Perfect. That looks great. Beautiful. Stay with your breath. Breathe into the space around the sacrum. Feel that opening, lengthening, softening of the fibers all around the sacrum. There's lots of ligaments that can get so tight right around the sacrum. Keep drawing the belly in, the inner groins in and back. Beautiful. And then take a breath in and stay tall and long as you rise back up. Help that knee back up. And let's bring our feet together, soles of the feet. Keep them long. We're going to practice this Baddha Konasana, but with a big diamond shape between the legs. So there's maybe 18 inches or so from the pelvic floor to the back of your heels. And then taking your hands to wherever they happen to fall on your legs, we're going to take a deep breath in, lengthen up, and as you exhale, hinge at the hip. And again, just come forward wherever forward is in this moment as you keep your spine long. Good. Let the feet open up if they tend to want to do that. Just like a book, beautiful book, the book of the foot or the feet. And then on your next inhalation, with a long spine, lengthen back up. Broaden through the collarbones, broaden through the heart space. Take a breath in and lift the heart, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, hinge at the hip and let the entire spine stay long, just as it was when you were seated. Let your gaze follow so you don't crook your neck, but keep your neck long, the back of your neck long. On your next inhalation, draw the belly in and lift back up. We're going to take it one more time. Inhaling, draw the belly in, wrap that corset around you, and then exhale, lengthen and hinge at the hip, coming forward. Again, letting the feet open up if they want to. And on your next inhalation, grow long and tall and come back up to seated. And then you might find a block, keep it handy. We'll practice malasana coming through froggy pose. So heel toeing the feet to either side of the mat, press up and come to this nice wide stance, and you can rock back and forth. Feeling those hip flexors. I'm feeling mine, the groins, all that ligamentation in the hip flexors. And then for malasana, you can bring a block under your hips, if that feels good. You might like to be on the block, or maybe not. Maybe without the block. Taking your hands into prayer pose, you can press the elbows into the knees or thighs and keep your spine long. And it's all in good happiness, right? However it is, it's beautiful. Yes, just like that. We enjoy our practice. I remember the first time I ventured into teaching this pose. I thought I'd never, ever do it in front of anyone again. It's a wonderful pose. So from here, we're going to bring hands to the mat and then lift the hips straight up to the sky and heel toe the feet into hip width distance apart. And you can bring your blocks, because we are now in Uttanasana. And if you're feeling your hamstrings and your calves, you can bend your knees if that feels best. Or if it feels good in your body to lengthen those fibers. Remember that the thighs, the hamstrings are attached to the pelvis. And so they really have a lot to do with the back, the lower back especially. And if we lengthen those fibers along the backs of our legs, it can do wonders for the back. Press into all four corners of both feet, really firming into the soles of the feet, and then bring your hands to your hips and begin to lengthen your spine, growing long. Draw the belly in. Firm the muscles to the bones in your legs. And with the strength of your legs, rise up with a nice, long, tall spine. Take your arms to either side and close your eyes for a minute and just feel the work you've done. Feel how it feels in your body. Feel your back body. Feel your heart space, your shoulders, your neck, your shoulder blades. Feel the soles of your feet on the mat. Feel your neck, your jaw. Feel the spaciousness within and the places that feel more dense. Just feel without judgment, without criticism, with love for this vehicle, the miracle of the body and the miracle of being. And then please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And we'll just practice some half-sun salutations. Inhale and press hands, grow the spine long, draw the belly in, reach through the crown of your head, and then exhale, keep the heart spread wide, the collarbones spread wide. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky and lengthen through the side waists. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, and with a long spine, lower down, bring your hands to your blocks. Lift your hips up high to the sky. And then inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, hinge, lift those sits bones. We're just hinging at the hip. On your next breath in, lengthen, come parallel to the earth. And as you exhale, internally rotate at the head of the thigh bones. Spread that pelvis. Feel the spaciousness around the sacrum. Inhale, keep the internal rotation as you lengthen and come halfway up. Just notice how that feels. And as you exhale, keep firming the muscles to the bones in the legs with an inner rotation, lower down. Inhaling, lengthen, come halfway up. Good. Exhale, hinge and bow in, internally rotating, excuse me. One more time, inhale, wrap the shoulder blades onto the back as you lengthen and draw the belly in, coming halfway up. Exhale, bow to the legs. Inhale, place your hands on your hips, firm the muscles to the bones on your legs, and come back up. And then lengthen the arms to either side. And feel how that feels in your body in this moment. Taking a couple of breaths. Let's add on, take a breath in, bring hands to Anjali Mudra. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips touch overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, open the arms and float down. Inhale, head lift. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, again, lift up halfway. Firm the muscles to the bones. Exhale, bow to the legs. Inhale, bend your knees. Place your blocks alongside your feet or your hands. Exhale, step both feet back. Plank pose, with or without the blocks. Press out through the heels. Take a breath here. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Maybe without the blocks. Inhale, plank pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Exhale, down dog. Lift the hips high. One more time. Inhale, plank pose. Draw the belly in, lengthen out through the heels. Exhale, lower down, whichever way is best. in your body. Let's take cobra pose or up dog, whichever feels best for you today. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Draw the tailbone towards your heels and zip up from the pubic bone to the belly button. Wrap the shoulder blades onto the back, and on an inhalation, lift up. Good. Breathe. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, lower down. Turn your toes under and press back up into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Lift the hips high. And bend your knees. Step up to the front of the mat. You can use your blocks or not. Lift your hips high to the sky. Draw the belly in and inner rotate at the head of the thigh bones. Take a breath in and send your arms out to either side. Lengthen over the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower your hands to Anjali Mudra. And take a couple of breaths. You can lengthen your arms or keep your hands in prayer hands, whichever feels best. Feel your inner body. And let's come back down to the mat. Bring your blanket. Paschimottanasana Dandasana first, Paschimottanasana. And we can do that without the blocks and the strap. This morning, lengthen your legs and press the toes towards the sky. Find the anterior portion of your sits bones. Notice your results of your practice. How does it feel in your body as you sit here, firming the muscles to the bones and the legs? Let your hands just rest either on the mat or on your thighs. Draw the belly in. Lift up through the heart. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another on the back. Feel all the muscles working together to support your spine. Feel stable as you're planted here on your mat. And for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold, we'll take a breath in and lengthen the spine, draw the belly in. And as you exhale, hinge. Keep the spine, the neck, the head, one long line, and just see where you go. Keep firming the muscles to the bones and the legs, drawing those inner groins in and back, drawing the belly in and back. Good, that looks so beautiful. Enjoy your breath. Let your body inform itself where it wants to be, what feels best in your body as you breathe, and be the witness. Be the witness as the body expresses itself. As you breathe, notice your back body. Bring awareness to the inner groins and the belly. Press out through the soles of your feet. If you have low back issues, this is such an amazing pose. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, Make your way back up to Dandasana, staff pose, fully lengthened spine, sitting up nice and tall. Take a couple more breaths right here. And we'll come back onto our backs once again. Take it slow and easeful. Lower down, bring your feet to the mat and constructive rest pose. Make sure your feet are hip-width distance apart. Let your shoulder blades rest on the mat. Lift your hips for a moment and lengthen through the tailbone. Also lengthen the back of the neck. Notice where your chin is, and if it's lifted towards the sky, do your best to draw the skin along the back of your neck a little longer. And on your next breath in, draw the knees towards the chest, letting the thighs draw down on their own time. Rotating in the head of the thigh bones, at the head of the thigh bones, in the sockets, making their way down. What I really meant to say was rotate the head of the thigh bones, rotating in the hip sockets. And you know, once they make their way down, once they've completed their journey down, then you can take your hands to your knees and circle them, giving your sacrum a really beneficial massage all around those ligaments that tend to be so tight back there. And do your best to relax your shoulders. And then please go the other direction. Good, and then come to stillness. Take another breath here, relax your shoulders. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then lower your left foot to the mat and cross your right ankle over your thigh. We'll take figure 4. And again, listen to your body. So you can practice figure 4 by drawing your knee towards your chest, your left knee, of course, and hug the shin or the thigh, or if it feels better, lengthen the left leg all the way, pressing out through the sole of your foot, staying active through both feet. Relax your shoulders and enjoy your breath. Breathe into the right outer hip, really opening through those outer hip flexors. Also will be so good for the back body, especially the lower back, because look what it's attached to, the pelvis, the low back. It's all one. Relax those shoulders, the face, the jaw, the eyes. Take 2 more breaths here, and then we're going to take a twist. Keep your legs, you'll need to bend your left knee if you've straightened it. Please take it into a bend, and then keeping that, open the arms into a T, and we'll send the legs to the left. I'm taking a couple of breaths here, keeping the both shoulder blades on the back, on the mat. best you can. Breathe into that right hip. Big stretch here. You can look towards your right fingertips if that feels good. Breathe and let go best you can. And of course, you can place a block under your knee or your thigh or even your right foot if that's helpful. Two more breaths here, breath cycles, long, deep breaths in, longer breaths out. And then to come out of the twist, draw your belly in, press the arms into the earth and lift your legs. Return your left foot to the mat and uncross your legs. Take a breath here. Notice your chin. If it's lifted, draw it down. And on your next breath in, cross your left heel or ankle over the right thigh. And on your next inhalation, come into figure four, whichever way you enjoy. And for those of you who have told me this is difficult without a block under your head, feel free to use a block or a blanket. Take good care of yourself. And of course, you can press your elbow into your thigh to get a deeper stretch if that's helpful or beneficial in your practice. Breathe into the stretch, into the sensations. Do your best to relax your face, your shoulders, and your jaws. Keep your feet active, and we're going to take that same twist. So, preparing for that, draw the knee down if you've extended your leg. Keep that and open your arms into a T. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, send the legs to your right. And again, of course, you can place a block under your foot or under your thigh, whatever feels best as you practice. Always listening to the body, the inner body, the full body. Noticing, feeling, and sensing sensations as they arise. Breathe into those. And do your best to relax the shoulders, the neck, the jaws, the face. Staying with the breath best you're able. Deep stretch through the hip flexor, hip flexors. And to come out of the twist, once again, draw the belly in, press the arms into the earth, and on an inhalation, lift your legs back up. Set your right foot on the mat, uncross your legs. Take a breath in and draw your knees back in towards your chest. Take a few breaths here. Soften your face. Lengthen the skin along the back of your neck. And notice your lower back. If it's arched, see if you can draw the back, the whole back body to the mat with a natural lift through the cervical spine. And if it feels good in your practice, come into happy baby, bringing your hands to your feet or your ankles, your shins, your knees, wherever they land. And feel into those inner groins, the adductors, the inner thighs. And breathe into your pelvic floor. Feeling the sensations, breathe into those. Relax your shoulders. If Supta Baddha Konasana feels good in your body, take that, bringing the soles of your feet together. Press your knees out. Breathe. And then bring the knees back together. We'll come back into Apanasana, hugging the knees towards the chest. If you enjoy lifting your head towards your knees, please do. Hug in, grow tiny and small, like a little bug. And then take a breath in. And as you exhale, release and find your way into Shavasana. Once you've found your way onto your back, take good care. Place blankets or bolster under your knees if that's helpful. Cover yourself with a blanket. Take your time and enjoy this final pose where all the benefits of your practice get to settle in and really merge and meld with your entire being. Resting on your back body, notice your shoulder blades, draw them under you, notice your sacrum. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed there. Turn your palms to the sky. Let your feet and legs turn out naturally. Space between the legs, space between the arms and the side bodies. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, exhale all the way down the body and out the soles of your feet. Take another deep breath in. And let that breath, as you exhale, flow out the soles of your feet and your fingertips. And one more like that. And let it go. And then please breathe into the space between your legs. And let that breath go. Take a breath in to the space between your arms and your side bodies. And let that breath go. And now breathe into the space between your shoulders and your ears. And let that go too. And feel yourself grow heavier and heavier. Feel your back body, each place it touches the surface beneath you. With each breath settling in more and more to each of those points. Releasing and letting go. Feel your bones grow heavy. Your muscles unwind and release. And your skin, as it melts away, dissolving into the surface beneath you. As you breathe, let go. And begin to bring your awareness to your breath. into your body, feeling the breath as it breathes you. With each breath in and out, coming more and more into the space of your body, noticing the inhalation and the exhalation, the rise and the fall of the breath in your chest and belly. And begin to bring awareness to your fingertips and toe tips. Gently moving those. Then you can begin to circle your wrists and your ankles. And then please take a deep breath in and lift your arms. If that feels good, point your toes and then let that breath go. And roll to one side. Take a few breaths there, really fully enjoying your breath and enjoying the moment, letting it all settle in. And when you're ready, using your hands and arms to press up and come to a seat on your mat. Once you've arrived, please bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, right in front of your heart. Bowing your head to your heart with gratitude, gratitude for each moment your heart beats, for all that it guides you towards, and especially for guiding you to your yoga mat this morning. With gratitude for one another, our sweet community that's so meaningful and means so much. The sacred act of gathering. Gratitude for all the teachings and practices that shed light on our journeys, and gratitude for all those who have gone before, our ancestors of every kind. So much gratitude. Gratitude for life itself, for the breath and this vehicle. And may all beings everywhere, excluding none, be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings live with ease and grace all the days of their lives, and not to forget loving kindness. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May this be so. Let's close with one Om. We'll simply inhale and begin. Om. Thank you so much for your practice. So wonderful to see you here. Namaste.